What's up guys, it's Drac and Jinx. She's been having a bit of a tummy ache for the past couple of days, so she's been like extra velcroed, if you know what I mean. And one of the best things about, you know, getting to work from home and being my own boss is that, you know, she's gotten pretty used to that level of attachment. But normally she sits down there while I film. She's been having such a rough time of it these past couple of days with her tummy ache and her light lunches that she's just got to be really close all the time. So she's being a little scamp. Hopefully you guys don't mind her sitting in on today's video because she's currently trying to back off the table into my gut for whatever reason. But I want to talk to you about a new 3D printed blaster design. This one's from Jordan over at Manzan Designs. And I keep talking about how lucky we are to have a new designer and a new implementation of what are honestly like pretty simple mechanics and pneumatics, but we're just really excited by how many different directions different artists and creators are willing to take them. So this is the Ruffian. Jinx is trying to taste it. She says it tastes pretty good. And it's got a couple of unique features about it. One of them is it's got variable grips. You can see here, this is actually two different grip panels. This slides off and you can put on different sized grips, which is good because like in its current configuration, there's something very fencing grip about it for me that this one is not honestly the most comfortable for me, but there are larger ones that you can use. It's got a stock pad here that, while pretty minor, has somewhat contoured beveled edges there so that it does fit in. Now I do want to point out, Jordan's got to be either like a kind of funky looking human being, or maybe he just didn't know how weird my proportions were. The handle is somewhat small, but the grip is actually quite far out here. And I mean, if you look at how I'm sort of built, I mean, it's not a secret. I am a relatively tall humanoid type creature, and I have to reach out pretty far to get a wrap on this. Given that there's no grip on here by design, I could put one of my Caduceus grips from Foam Pro Shop on there, but I kind of wrap around it like an Alpha Trooper. There's also like no shroud here, right? You've got one piece of U-line aluminum and then two aluminum bars, creating kind of a sleeve over what's effectively an actual factual brass barrel. So that's the part that makes this neat. This has a brass barrel that achieves its air seal by virtue of having a brass breech. To load the blaster, you prime it all the way back. Again, needing a pretty sizable wingspan to do so. And then you have a clean and easy breech in there. You guys should be able to see, not only is there a breech, but there's also a brass pusher inside. Then you take the half-length magazine of your choice, which hopefully is a Talon, because it's a Talon exclusive design, right? And you'll notice that this has been out of the way the entire video, but when I put this magazine in, it's gonna flip down and become the magazine release. There's no stop up here just yet, which is either a design feature or a design flaw. I'm not gonna judge. But then you have, of course, exposed brass up top because that's where the priming bars are. The U-line goes all the way down and is what gives you structural integrity. Thin wall brass like this, if this were just alone out in space, would be very not only dangerous, which by the way, this should be glued on because you can't run around with exposed brass like this. A hallmark of a Nerfer that just doesn't care about the safety of others is when they make their first brass breech and just leave the tube exposed. I'm thrilled that there's a muzzle on this, but probably have had just a tack of glue or some sort of mechanism by which it twists onto this stop up here. And I know that like this is one of Jordan's first designs, so I'm offering some design critique at the same time as, you know, complimenting him for choosing to use a very expensive, very wonderful barrel material like brass on a homemade like this. And you prime forward, you can actually feel the breech seal because it's not pushing an O-ring into a barrel, it's creating a concentric air glide seal over the other. And then you get pretty awesome performance out of it because it's effectively a half-length brass breeched homemade with, you know, almost not two, but at least like 16 inches of effective barrel length. I'm sure he could answer in the comment section down below. When firing, we're gonna have to take this bad boy outside and put it over the chronograph because this is delivering the hits. right, so we're out here with the Ruffian. It's pretty cold. I should have put on a jacket. I had to take Jinx back inside. So she's not thrilled, so we're gonna do this one pretty quick. But with a full-length brass breech, Jordan claims that this can get up to 300 feet per second. It probably could get higher. There are definitely a lot of things that I would change about the design. I think that this should be beveled. I think that there should be a grip on here. I think that it should be a little bit shorter prime if at all possible. But we are here to applaud it for what it is doing, unique and well, which is this full-length brass breech, which should hopefully lead to some pretty high performance here. So let's, dang. It's not a game. Yeah, there's a no school like the old school, boys. And brass breech, half length. The only thing limiting this thing from getting 300-foot shots is that I'm using Adventure Force Pro Darts, and they just might not be as light as old school slugs. Let's fire a few down range. This is unbelievable. So all of the ergonomic hiccups, all of the little wonky kind of first time design blips here, pale in comparison to 3-digit. That's barely having any drop, 100 feet down range. Let's actually like watch one. I'll aim for the tree that's about 140 away. And we connected. Not only is it accurate, or I guess not only is it powerful, it is also very accurate. I, for one, am very excited to see what Jordan comes up with next. I know because he sent me this sneak peek in my Instagram DMs that he's working on a miniature version called the Scamp, but like a little bit of iteration would go a long way on this. A couple of revisions. Thank you so much for doing it up in my colors, Jordan. And I'm impressed, pleased, surprised. You can pick up either a kit or a fully built Ruffian if you too want 288 feet per second out of the box. You can achieve that by going over to his Etsy. These are remarkably affordable. Full blasters are just over $100, and then hardware kits are a little under $70. Check him out over there. My dog's tummy is hurt. I'm freezing. If you too have a lovable animal that you support more than they support you, you could pick up your very own emotional support human shirt over at foamproshop.com. Support the business. We would appreciate that very, very much. But that's my plug. That's Jordan's plug. This is pretty cool. It blends old school power and new school design language. Thank you guys so very much for watching. Much love. Blast on. Drac out.